Hope you're doing well. Anyway, just the stuff that we're going to be talking about for this particular lesson is on the information that you see up on the screen, 5.2 geometric sequences. So if you printed off the packet, it's starting on basically on page 18. So you will need to have either this notes packet printed off, or you can just keep up with it in your own notes. Keep up with it that way. So what I'm going to do is, like, whenever she shares it, I'm going to cut it off and give you the answers, but also give you a little bit of input.
Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to work two problems, much like we did in the third video when we were talking about arithmetic sequences. And in this video, I am going to talk about what do we do when we know the value of one term, a second term, and then we're looking to find the value of a third term. And so just like we did in that video, we are going to set up a system of equations to make that happen. And so we want to find the 14th term. And so I always like to kind of give myself a goal at the top of my problem because it keeps me focused. And so I always kind of start at the bottom and then I work my way back to the top. So we are told the fourth term of a geometric sequence is 25. I stop right there and I write, okay, a sub 4 equals 125. And then I start reading again. On the 10th term is 125 over 64. I stop. I know that a sub 10 is equal to 125 divided by 64. And so I'm going to kind of like put a curly Q bracket there because those are the two things that I know. Okay. And so to find the 14th term, the other thing I know is I need the first term, and I'm going to multiply it by that common ratio to the 14 minus 1. Okay. So this is going to be that first term times the common ratio raised to the 13th power. This is how I'm going to find that. So in order to find this value, I need to know these two values. Well, I have two equations right here, and I need to write these two equations so that I can determine these two unknowns. So here we go. The fourth term in the sequence. Well, the way I get to the fourth term is I start at the first term, and I multiply by that common ratio cubed, and this is going to equal 125. To get to that 10th term, I start with the first term, I multiply by that common ratio to the 9th power, and this is equal to 125 divided by 64. Okay, and so this is my system. I have effectively set up my system of equations. Okay, and the only way I can solve this system is to use substitution. And I have to use substitution for this system because I have non-linear systems, because my exponent for my common ratio is not 1 in both cases. All right, so I'm going to kind of like go up here because I'm running low on space. So remember, when we use substitution, we solve an equation for a variable. So I'm going to take this first equation, a sub 1 r cubed equals 125, and I'm going to solve for a sub 1 because that seems pretty simple to me. So I know that a sub 1 is equal to 125 divided by r cubed, and I kind of have like a big mess here, so I'm gonna circle it so it can pop out visually for me. So then I take this for substitution. I take this expression right here, and I substitute it in to a1 on the equation I didn't use. And so instead of writing a1, I'm going to write 125 divided by r cubed, and then I'm multiplying by r to the 9th, and this is equal to 125 divided by 64. Okay, so just to kind of remind you how the substitution works, I've substituted this expression for a1 into that other equation that I didn't use. And so now I'm going to use kind of my algebra tricks, and I'm going to remember that this r to the 9th is sitting on top of a 1. And when I have the same base, I subtract my exponents. And so this is going to be equal to 125 times r to the 9 minus 3. And so I'm here. All right. So this is 125 r to the 6th, okay, because 9 minus 3 is 6, equals 125 divided by 64. So then I'm going to divide both sides by 125. So dividing by 125 is the same thing as multiplying by 1 over 125. And so I get r to the 6th is equal to 1 over 64. Okay. If this right here doesn't make any sense to you at all, you can easily just say 125 divided by 64, close parentheses, divided by 125, math, fraction, and bam, you get 164 in your calculator as well. Okay. So I'm going to get r to the 6th is equal to 1 over 64. And so what I need to do is I need to take the 6th root of both sides. Okay. So r is going to equal, typically we would say plus or minus because I'm taking the 6th root. But that's what these parentheses are here for. We are assuming that my common ratio is positive. And so what I would like to remind you is that the 6th root of 1 over 64 is equal to 1 over 64 to the 1/6 power. Okay. So in my calculator, it's cleared out. I'm going to do 1 divided by 64, and I'm going to raise it to 1 over 6 because the 1/6 exponent is the 6th root. So when I do that, I get 0.5. So r is equal to 0.5, or you could say r is equal to 1/2. It doesn't matter. I probably would say 1/2 just because my original problem started with fractions. And so then I can go back up here and I can actually answer the question that I want to answer. My first term. Oh, I don't know that yet. I need to figure that out. But I know that r is 1/2 and it's going to be 13th. My first term, I do know this, however, my first term is equal to 125 divided by my common ratio cubed. And so I can plug that in my calculator. 125 divided by 0.5 cubed. And so this is 1,000. Okay. And so my 14th term is going to equal 1,000 times 1/2 to the 13th power. So I'm going to take 1,000 times 1/2 or 0.5 raised to the 13th power. Wow, that's like a crazy number, crazy fraction. We'll go ahead and do the fraction since that's how our problem started. 125 over 1024. So this right here is our 14th term. Okay. And so now for checkpoint 5.
I hope you guys have a great week. Be safe and let me know if you ever need something when it comes to the content that you need just my perspective with. Okay.